it's wonderful. It's great to get out
It
and
feels really good.
yeah, get that vitamin D
Yeah.
from the sun. It's awesome.
Go for a walk with friends.
Yeah.
It's a great day. I walk the lake every day, do 8 to 10K, even when it's minus 23, but today just puts that extra spring in your step.
Spring in your step, indeed. Kaylin, we're quick to run out and talk to folks when the weather's bad. So we thought, well, let's do a turn here and go out and talk to folks when the weather is lovely. And it was certainly that today in Metro Halifax. Anyway, some rave reviews from people who are out enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah.
And those warm temperatures, hoping there is more to come.
Well, there is.
Okay, good. All right.
So as a meteorologist, I love most types of weather, including the type of weather that a lot of people enjoyed out there today, some sunshine, some milder temperatures. There is one type of weather, though, that I do not particularly enjoy, and that is freezing rain.
Yeah.
It is miserable to be out in, it is treacherous, and it is very difficult to forecast. And we have some coming up through the middle part of this week, Wednesday into Thursday. So we're going to start off by talking about that next weather system. And this is one of those weather systems that we often get to in the springtime. It's kind of a little bit of a layered cake as far as precipitation goes. Right up in the north of New Brunswick, you see where the grays are shading in. That is the potential of seeing some snow and some ice pelt accumulation that could be 15 centimeters or more. But then you can see just to the south of that, through much of the rest of New Brunswick, even in parts of Prince Edward Island, and a risk for some northern eastern areas of Nova Scotia, some ice pellets, an extended period of freezing rain is possible. Other areas of Nova Scotia, away from the north and the east and more towards the Atlantic coastline, are likely to have temperatures mild enough that as this weather system moves through, it is mostly going to be rain. And remember, this is a Wednesday into Thursday weather event for a good portion of the Maritimes. We saw some special weather statements already in effect for areas of New Brunswick. So I want to talk a little bit more specifically about the risk of freezing rain with this weather system. So we're going to take a look at an outlook here for the region. I'll step out of the way. And you can see I've got three colors there on that map of the Maritimes. The yellow, that would be where it would be a lighter freezing rain, a risk of a lighter freezing rain, up to around 5 millimeters of ice accretion. That's a collection of ice. And that would be an icy glaze. It would be enough to create some slippery surfaces. Now, the area highlighted in through the orange, which you can see is for a larger portion of New Brunswick and possibly western parts of Prince Edward Island, that might be 5 to 10 millimeters of ice accretion. And that's a little bit more impactful because that can add weight onto things such as tree branches, which can become bowed or in some cases snap. And then when those make contact with something like power lines, then you can get some isolated power outages. Now, 10 millimeters or more of ice accretion, and can't be completely ruled out yet for a few spots in central or western areas of New Brunswick. That's more serious. That creates very hazardous travel conditions. And that could be enough weight to actually bow entire trees down. We've seen that in ice storms in the past, and that creates a higher risk of seeing some power outages. So the risk right now for the most impactful freezing rain from this weather system still looks like it's going to be lined up through northern, central areas of New Brunswick, possibly western parts of Prince Edward Island. But this one is a mix, so please keep on top of your forecast, making our way through the middle part of this week. In the meantime, though, weather conditions out there for tonight, fairly calm for the region. There's a few clouds drifting through. There'll be some fog developing tonight. The fog will be thickest, most widespread around the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick and parts of the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. So first thing tomorrow morning, just be aware that your visibility could be reduced in some areas. That fog will dissipate or retreat off the coast as we make our way from the morning into the afternoon. Sun is shining through a good portion of the Maritimes. Temperatures mild to warm. A little bit of a mix of sun and cloud up around northern areas of New Brunswick and a low chance of an isolated shower or two. Winds in the forecast for tonight and for tomorrow will be out of the southwest, but they actually get lighter for tomorrow, sustained for most of the Maritimes between around 10 and 20 kilometers per hour. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight, they're cool. Most of the lows will fall down to around the low to mid single digits. But again, for tomorrow, a few communities in the north of New Brunswick will have some high temperatures, sure, around 6-7 degrees. But as you start to move a little bit further towards the south, those temperatures really pop up into the low to mid-teens. 14 degrees for Miramichi, 11 for Perth Andover for tomorrow. We've got 15 for Fredericton, 16 at St. Stephen in the forecast, 12 for St. John, and 16 degrees for Moncton in the southeast. Prince Edward Island tomorrow with high temperatures between 10 and 13 degrees and seeing a fair amount of sunshine. And areas away from the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia for tomorrow as well. Fairly sunny. High temperatures, high single digits, low teens in Cape Breton. We're on the mid-teens for the north shore of Nova Scotia, 7 to 11 degrees for the eastern shore. Winds a little bit more on shore off the Atlantic waters. 12 for the city centers, Halifax and Dartmouth for tomorrow, 13 for Truro, 10 at around Amherst and Parsboro. Warm for the Annapolis Valley, 16 degrees in the forecast for Kentville, Middleton, 13 at Digby, and on the south shore of Nova Scotia, coastal areas between 9 and 12 degrees. But again, you could have a little bit of marine cloud or marine fog that hugs the coastline throughout the day. Taking a look at the extended forecast then for New Brunswick. So there's that icy mix coming through Wednesday into Thursday. Following in behind it, temperatures a little bit chillier for the end of the week on Friday, the mix of sun and cloud. Snow possible at the start of the weekend on Saturday. There's your typical March swings there in the forecast over the next several days. A little bit more snow is possible Sunday night, leading into a mixture of snow and rain on Monday of next week. And for Nova Scotia in the outlook again, there will be a risk of some freezing rain for northern eastern parts of the province Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Other parts of Nova Scotia seeing some rain, drizzle, and fog. Some flurries may be around for Friday morning, followed by a mixture of snow and rain being possible for the start of the weekend. Cloudy periods on Sunday, and next Monday, rain possible. And for Prince Edward Island, the outlook, watching for that icy mix of weather coming in Wednesday into Thursday morning for temperatures warm up enough to turn the last of it over to rain. It's a mix of sun and cloud for Friday, a mixture of snow and rain possible on Saturday, back to a mix of sun and cloud on Sunday. Rain possible on Monday of next week. It's going to be busy here in the Weather Center over the next several days.
Yes, you will be busy. Thank you for that, Caleb.